If you enjoy this audio, please consider leaving a comment, even if it's just an emoji, to help grow the channel. Thanks. And let's set the scene. You've recently moved from your small hometown in Wisconsin to a city in Virginia outside of D.C. Your job is working out just fine, your apartment is nice, and you're still able to play your violin, which you love, but never seemed like you could earn a living with it. And today, as you pull out the violin to practice a little, your cute next-door neighbor notices. And if you could hear his thoughts, they would sound like this. There it is again. I'm pretty sure that's a violin. I think. It's hard to tell exactly which instrument when it's going through walls like this, but I like it. This new neighbor must be a musician. I've definitely had worse people sharing walls with me. Oh, wow, I think I recognize this one. I don't know the name of it, but it's used for the tango. I remember Gary in college telling me he loved to have sex to this. I'm glad I didn't ask for details. I don't remember the name of this, though. Maybe if I go on the balcony, I can hear better. I'd love to know what they're playing. At first, I hated the idea of sharing the balcony, but now? Free concerts. Oh, that's nice. A comfy chair, a glass of wine, and this sweet music. Oh yeah, it's a lot easier to hear out here. It's definitely a violin. I like it. And as you end your violin piece, you notice that there was movement on your shared patio, and you decide to step outside and see what's up. Oh, hi. Sorry. I was just enjoying the music. It's great. You're great at it, A mute? Like, so the violin doesn't make noise? I didn't even know such a thing existed. Why would you want to... Oh, please don't do that. Please don't use a mute. Especially not for me. Violins, all instruments, are made to be played and heard. I would hate to think that you muffled your gift because of me. I like listening to you. That's why I'm out here. You're not disturbing me at all. Seriously, you're really good. Are you a professional musician? Oh, that's incredible. You sound like one. Would you play a little something here on the balcony so I can hear the way it's supposed to be? Oh, that's kind of a sudden high-pressure ask. I apologize. Ah, yeah, that'd be great. Oh, would you like a glass of wine first? I've got a whole bottle here, and I certainly won't drink it all in one sitting. It's Sancerre. Oh, that's the region. It's a Sauvignon Blanc from France. Yeah? Awesome. Let me grab you a glass. Here we go. Hopefully that's not too much. Don't feel like you have to drink it all. I just like large glasses when I drink wine, and I don't always think about everyone not being the same way. It's okay? Cool. Now, don't feel nervous or anything. I can't play an instrument to save my life. Gun to my head, I'd be dead, so I'm impressed with anyone who can. great. What was that? What's the name of it? Four Seasons by Vivaldi. That doesn't ring any bells, but I've definitely heard the tune before. Like I said, not a musician. A million miles away from one, actually. You know, I was just going to eat dinner. I just brought Chinese home after work. Do you want some? I always get a few things and eat it over several days, so there's plenty. Sure, let me grab stuff. So, tell me about you. An accountant? I gotta tell you, that doesn't really track with the violin player. Did you start playing in school? 2nd grade. Geez, I was still figuring out how to add, perhaps why I'm not an accountant. And you were starting to learn the violin. Seriously impressive. I could see you wanting to do something a little more creative with your free time now, sure. No, I never tried any instruments. I played baseball. Catcher. I have the crappy knees to prove it. You moved in a few weeks ago, right? So how do you like it here? I think it's a pretty nice complex. All the way from Wisconsin, huh? Wow, you're a long way from lunch. It's an expression my dad used to say. He was goofy. So apparently I am also goofy now. Do you like the city? It's got a lot of cultural stuff to do. Great restaurants, nice parks. Yeah. Oh, I'm a health teacher and the baseball coach at the high school. It's really rewarding. I recently started a peer counseling thing with the juniors. They learn how in their junior year, and then they do the counseling in their senior year. I'm excited to see how it goes. It's supposedly working really well at other schools. This is the first year, so we won't know how they do with their actual counseling until next year. Sorry, I do get a little carried away talking about my kids. Yeah, teaching health is mostly okay, but I'll admit it's a little awkward to do the sex ed unit, but I know how important it is to combat all the misinformation out there. Yeah, the internet is both a blessing and a curse, you know. What company did you come to work for? Oh, I've seen their plant. I assume there's a corporate headquarters there somewhere in the sprawl. 6,000 employees. Man, I knew the plant was big, but that's wild. What kind of accounting do you do? Accounts payable. So you do the bills for the company, right? Like not what comes in. If I remember my M4A into business classes, that's accounts receivable, right? So you're the one keeping the lights on? Ah, one of the people keeping the lights on. Yeah, I could see how such a large company would need more than one person doing each accounting job, sure. Yeah, I've lived here my entire life. Well, not this apartment. This city. I can't imagine moving so far from your hometown. What's your favorite part of moving here so far? Yeah, less snow makes sense. We do get ice and freezing rain, and people have no idea how to drive in it, despite it happening on and off for about 4 or 5 months a year. You'll laugh your butt off when they cancel everything over 2 inches of snow. They have an excuse, though. None of the cities around here have the equipment to deal with it. They end up using bulldozers and stuff, which is not optimal. My favorite thing about being here is probably how close it is to DC. Have you ever been to Washington? Oh, it's pretty cool. Yeah, the best time of year is to go during Cherry Blossom Festival. It's crowded, but the gorgeous cherry trees are worth it. My favorite part. The Spy Museum, hands down. I bet you thought I'd say the Lincoln Memorial or something. While that and the other memorials are pretty cool, the Spy Museum is amazing. You go, and there's like 20 or 30 people to choose from for your spy identity. So you go through in the museum in kind of a choose-your-own-adventure style thing to see if you would survive or not. It sounds a little macabre when you put it that way, but I swear it's so interesting. My favorite besides the Spy Museum isn't right in the downtown area. It's the National Air and Space Museum. They have an entire space shuttle in there. I know I probably sound like the biggest nerd, but hey, the first time I went was maybe 6, and it was huge and impressive. I'd be happy to take you to DC if you want a tour guide. We can do all the memorials or whatever you want. There are tours of the White House, the Capitol building. There's the Smithsonian, tons of great places to visit. You'll need more than one day there, but if you're living here for a while, that won't be hard, I would imagine. I hope you don't think I'm being too forward or creepy. If you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. Okay. You know, a couple of friends of mine were talking about going to see a Nationals game. That's the baseball team. And doing some of the touristy stuff before or after. Would you want to maybe do that? Come with us, I mean. It's a group with both men and women. You could meet some people, and they're all good folks. I'll vouch for them. Sure, I could explain baseball to you. As long as you've seen Bull Durham in Major League, you're well on your way. You saw both? Then you're set. You already know everything. Sounds good? Cool. I'll let you know when we're thinking of going. Probably after the school year ends, since at least a third of us are involved with the high school. Yeah. This is really nice. Decent food, good conversation, great music and company. Speaking of, can I beg you to play a little more for me? It's such a beautiful night and I'd love to hear more. If you don't mind, of course. Thanks. I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship. Yeah, that was from Casablanca. Don't tell anyone. They'll take my jock card away. Yeah, preferring wine to beer is probably already enough to get it revoked as it is. It'll be our secret.